All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. Rhinoshield bringing us a brand new case today, talking about their Air-X. Now, this case right here is going to be for people out there who need that heavy-duty drop protection. If you're a person who likes minimal protection or you like smaller type scales, the cases, look, you might want to go ahead and clear off this video because this ain't for you. This is for everybody who may be living that construction life, or guess what? You just might be clumsy as you know what when it comes to your devices. But let's go ahead and check them out. First things first, huge shout out to Rhinoshield for dropping these to me to check out. Now, I've had these for a few days. I've ran one on my case for a few days, and I definitely have my thoughts, man, because this case has something that I have never seen before when it comes to a case. So let's just go ahead and check them out. So here it is, man, Rhinoshield Air-X cases. Now these are going to come in two different colors. We're going to have Vero Black and we're going to have Flux Gray, all right? Both are going to have those MagSafe rings looking right at you, but for this video, let's just go ahead and take a look at the gray, man. We see enough black cases. Let's switch it up and do a gray, as if that's anything more exciting than black. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, when it comes to this case, just like I stated, this is going to be a heavy duty style case. We'll get to the weight of it in a minute. But the thing that you need to know is this is deeply frosted. So as you can see the color of my hand behind it. Excuse me, goodness gracious. See, that hiccup was, woo. This thing is deeply frosted, so it does have a nice frost matte back. Now, as you can see, you will get some smudges and some grease up there, all right? Now, if you're eating a little Jersey Mike sub with that sauce, all right, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit greasy when we're talking about the back of it, but you're gonna get that MagSafe ring. Your MagSafe ring is on the inside, of course. It's now on the outside. You can actually feel it on the inside. Now, this case does have a little bit of bend to it, but that is okay. Sometimes with these shock absorption cases, you want a little bit of give and a little bit of bend. You don't want it too rigid because it's not really gonna protect it that great. Now, the thing that's a little bit different when it comes to this case has to be the buttons. This is something, just like I stated in the beginning, that I've never seen on a case before. So when you're looking at the buttons, the buttons are embedded on the inside. This is an all one piece case, but when you look at the buttons, you can see 3 indentations of where the buttons are, but they have really raised little ridges letting you know where the buttons feel. It's really weird. You have to kind of feel it to kind of get the hang of it. It's not terrible, but it is just a little bit different of something that you have to get the hang on. Same thing when it comes to this side over here. Of course, you're going to have that dedicated camera control button, but the same thing is with the power button. You can see the button in there, but it's not there. It's on the inside. So it's definitely a little bit interesting when it comes to that button. The rest of it around the corner, it basically has some of these air pockets. And look, you can go on the website. This thing has been contortion tested. I'm talking about 30 times extended durability, impact, external damage protection. This thing has a bunch of claims when it comes to protection, all right? Now, we might go outside and chuck it and throw it around. I'm not quite sure yet, all right? These companies don't be paying me enough to go out here and throw these. Look, they don't pay me at all. Let me talk about paying me enough to be chucking these cases around, but I might give you a little drop test. But this thing is definitely heavy duty rated. As you see on the bottom side, you're going to have those equal cutouts. Now, once again, I wish Rhinoshield would just do the cutouts for the actual speakers. It just makes it a little bit easier, all right? And that's pretty much it when it comes to the case. Definitely a unique design. It's kind of like a clear frosted look all the way around. And even on the corners, you can see where some of that extra, shock absorption is. You have a couple air pockets. This all helps with their claims of being a great heavy duty style case. So let's go ahead and bring this over real quick. Let's go ahead and clear this out and let's see how much this case weighs. So we're going to go ahead and drop it down. And this case is 50 grams, all right? She a big boy. She is a girthy boy when we're talking about weight. Let's go ahead and get the 16 Pro Max, and be careful putting it up here because I absolutely had a little issues with the camera control button when you pop it in. But together, 16 Pro Max Air-X case, 291 grams. Yeah, she a little thick with 4 C's, okay? But let's go ahead and take a look at it with this phone inside of this case. So here's how it's going to look when you're talking about the white titanium on this Flux Gray. I think this is a very nice, clean aesthetic when we are talking about the combination of this case. But let's just go ahead and take a look at it. Now, I said take a look. It's been a minute since your boy been recording. Lay on the table protection, as you can see right here. This has a nice little lip. I am running a tempered glass screen protector, so this definitely has a nice lip. If you're in the motion of just dropping it like that, you should be good to go when you're talking about the screen protector. You can just drop it, do what you got to do, and you should be good when we're talking about that screen protector. So nice little lip protection all the way around when it comes to that. Camera, your standard protection, all right? You're not going to get too big of a lips. And in my opinion, that's the main thing that concerns me when it comes to these cases because that camera lens just is so close right there. It just makes me a little bit nervous, but you do have your standard protection right there. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at how this case fits. All right. Well, because Rhinoshield cases have always fit very, very tight. And this one has a very good fit, except one little annoyance that I feel with this case. Now, when it comes to the popping on, all these corners are up here, all right? You're not gonna get this. You're not gonna get no super demanding click clacks because the case is a little bit flexible. It's not rigid, so it's not gonna give you those snaps and pops when you're talking about installing it. But when we're talking about going around it, top side, barely no give at all. Coming on to the sides, you are gonna get a little bit of movement. Now, this is not a deal breaker, but something that I noticed. You can kind of see the frame ever so slightly, and when you push in, you do get a little bit of movement in this general area right here. Now, is that a deal breaker? No, that's being me being hella nitpicky. But for these prices, 62 bucks and up, I just like these things to just be cleaned up ever so slightly, but you do get movement on these two corners right there. Not a deal breaker. If I was using this case as a daily, I don't think that would really bother me, but this, once again, for the price, I like for these things to be cleaned up. And on the bottom side, you're basically getting no pull. So overall, the fit on this thing is good. Rhinoshield has never really gave you a sorry fitting case, so I didn't expect nothing less when it comes to the Air-X. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the buttons, all right? Because here is this is the gotcha when it comes to the buttons. First things first, let's go ahead and start off with camera control. If you've seen my previous Rhinoshield videos, Rhinoshield has a solid camera control. I mean, you press it and it works fine, all right? I mean, you get it activated. The camera control button works just fine, as you can see right here. No issues with that camera control button. This button does pop out alongside with the other Rhinoshield cases. So in case you want to order a different color, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rhinoshield, I think you can switch out the camera controls. I could be wrong. That might just be for the buttons, not for this case, but some other ones. So the camera control worked just fine. Now, let's go ahead and talk about those embedded buttons. Now, it feels good. Like you get nice, listen to the click. Like the click is there, like you're pressing a button, but you're not actually pressing a button, if you see what I'm saying. And it is a little bit confusing. Like when you're rubbing your hand against it, you don't really know whether it's up or down unless you go up and say, okay, I don't feel those ridges. That means I'm on the up. But if I go down, I feel it. So that it can get a little bit confusing with these. Rhinoshield, I get what you're doing, but I feel like this may be doing a little bit too much. Just make us a button. There are tons of cases out there that has great protection that doesn't do this design. Once again, I love seeing new things from cases, but I think using this over a period of time, you probably will get used to it, but you kind of have to fumble around to know what button you're actually on. You know what I mean? Like, okay, the power button, you can tell the action button. They all kind of have the same little grip, so it's hard to distinguish, in my opinion, when it comes to these buttons. Now, on the right side, it's going to be a little bit more easier because you only got one button, which is going to be that power button. And I mean, it's not as tactile as that volume up and down, but it is there. And the action, the camera control button works just fine. So the buttons, I like that it's something different, but in my opinion, I feel like, is it really warranted or needed when it comes to those buttons, all right? But overall, it absolutely works good. Now, how does this phone feel in your hand? The phone definitely gets chunky vibes, all right? I don't have my third camera up. I don't know why I didn't put my third camera angle up so I can kind of hold it to it, but you can kind of get a gist of the chunkiness, but you can see this bad boy is chunky. Let me go ahead and grab something like a leather case that I've been using, and you can kind of tell the difference. I mean, it's not dramatically different, but you can tell that it is a little bit more chunkier than your average case. It's smooth, it's rounded, have a nice rubbery feel in your hand also. So feels good, makes things a little bit wider. But once again, if you need the protection and you're not going to be worried about that, chances are you're probably already using a big boy heavy duty case as is. Now, let's go ahead and bring MagSafe over here, because one thing about Rhinoshield is they never slack off when it comes to MagSafe, and there's no different when it comes to this Air-X case. It's actually holding this bad boy with ease. I can't really go up and down, all right? I can't do no deadlifts with it or some squats with it, but it does hold this base just fine on the actual case. Now, when we're talking about MagSafe power banks and different things like here, let's go ahead and get one of these wallets. Let's slap it on. Now, if you want to use something like a MagSafe wallet, you are definitely good. Now, you do get a little movement. That's simply because you're going to have a leather wallet on this type of slippery matte surface. So you are going to get a little movement, as you can see right here. But the thing is up there, and it is not, it's it's not coming off. You really got to shake that bad boy to get it off. Now, when it comes to the battery test, you know I really can't do shakes no more because, you know, the window is right here. So I got to kind of put my hand up to it. But when you're talking about a shake test, I mean, I'm trying to hold my hand. As you can see, it goes flying off, but you actually got to give it some hard shakes in order for that case to come flying off. So this is going to be the Flux Gray. Real quick, while I got you here, let's go ahead and throw the black on so you can see what the black looks like. So this is going to be basically how the black one looks like. So it's really whatever you want to do, personal preference when it comes to these cases, but this bad boy is giving you some heavy duty protection, all right? I mean, you can throw the thing around, drop it around, and just go crazy with it and just, you know, do what you want to do, throwing it around, and it has pretty good. There's no dents. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can take it outside, chuck it, and throw it around when it comes to the actual, you know, concrete, but it's actually pouring down raining right now. But this thing definitely looks like it's going to hold you down when it comes to a drop test. Lips, you know, all the cushions is around it. Everyday drops, I feel like this thing is prepared for. And if you do happen to have maybe an extreme drop, just a little bit more than you normally would, I think this case could potentially hold you down, man. So this is going to be the Rhinoshield Air-X for the 16 Pro Max. Just like I stated, man, Vera Black, Flux Gray, the two colors that they come in. On the website, it says starting at $62.99. So this is not a cheap boy, okay? Rhinoshield never, look, cheap cases have never been their thing. And this is not going to be nothing different when it comes to Rhinoshield. So the links will be down below. Check it out. I think I have a discount code. If I do, it will be in the description as well. And just check it out. But if you want to check some other Rhinoshield cases out, I did a video of their Rhinoshield Solid Suit, which is a little bit more customizable, a little bit more everyday casual use when it comes to a case. You can check that video out right here.